I worked in my civilian life as an attorney. I'm also an officer in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Being in the Army, being in the infantry is a very physical job. I had been feeling off. I tried to go to the gym and lift, and I had to cut my workout short. So I knew that there was something wrong. I eventually went to get checked out. Within an hour or two, I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia.
First, I have to say thank you for your service.
Thanks for mentioning it.
Jason, so what were your thoughts when you first heard that you had leukemia?
It was a mixture of emotions. It's a very, very earth-shattering piece of news to get. It was November of 2019. Everything kind of changes. So my thoughts were, how do I return to what I was before? A lot of my friends in my unit were all graduates of Army Ranger School. Notoriously difficult, notoriously very challenging infantry training program in the Army. I told one of my friends that I had leukemia. He's like, there's no way this can be more challenging than Ranger School. And I was like, yeah, I agree, there's no way it can be. But in a way, it kind of was. I mean,
it's a different fight.
It's a different fight. It's a different type of fight. I thought, there's just no way that I will feel as bad during chemo as I felt during Army Ranger School. You're hiking through the woods, 20-ish miles a day, carrying 100 pounds on your back every day, day in, day out. You just never rest. But I was wrong. The chemo makes you feel pretty bad.
you had two different fights you were fighting. One you had chose and one that you didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like the one that you don't choose is always a little bit harder.
I think you're absolutely right. I would agree with that.
Yeah. I've heard that chemo can be very draining. You were still working out when you were in the hospital. For
the first couple days, just did not feel up to doing much. But very, very soon I wanted to work out. I found that there was a cardiac rehab gym in a different building. For the first couple weeks, I was constantly attached to what the nurses called my tall, skinny girlfriend, that IV pole. Whether it was IV or chemo or whatever, I would go down to the gym and work out.
You can see your resilience. You're doing push-ups while you're having chemo. Can you explain to me a little bit about your journey after you left the hospital?
I got out on Christmas Day, 2019. My doctors decided that my best chance was a allogenic stem cell transplant. My oldest sister, Erin, was a match. She was a perfect match. And over the next couple months, they prepared me through consolidation chemo. They prepared her with medication and just getting ready. April 2020, I reported in for the nuclear option of chemo to obliterate my bone marrow to get it ready for those stem cells to come in.
I heard that you brought a treadmill into your room.
So this was during the pandemic, and all the gyms were shutting down. So they had all these treadmills that no one was using. My transplant coordinator, Kara, asked if they could borrow one. And they're like, yeah, sure. And so they sent it up to my room. I knew that I was going to be in there for a month, plus or minus. So I took all my weights, my dumbbells, from like 15 up to 45s. I took a couple kettlebells, like an adjustable pull-up bar, like a bunch of bands. I would just unload them into the wheelchair. And I made like 3 or 4 trips to take all these weights up to my room. I would alternate strength training with cardio. And just working different body parts.
Jason, were there ever times when they told you that you shouldn't be working out?
If your platelets fall below a certain level, you're not supposed to lift weights because even internal bruising can cause serious problems. But generally, they were really supportive, and they told me if they felt I could do it, do it.
Do you feel working out helped you physically and mentally?
No doubt. Absolutely it did. Mentally, it provides you with something to do, an activity throughout your day. So I think that keeping my body up to snuff as much as I possibly could, it was a way to kind of shake your fist at the great unknown in a way, like saying, I'm still gonna live my life. On May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, they conducted a stem cell transplant.
What did that mean to you that your sister was willing to do something like that?
It was pretty incredible. She literally saved my life by doing this. This coming May, she and I are gonna run the Pittsburgh Marathon together.
That's amazing. What is the biggest thing you might have learned from this journey that you've been on? What would you tell somebody that was in your shoes?
I would say to that person that you have to hang on. You have to just make it through that day, doing the best that you can. Do whatever you can that day to improve your situation. The challenges are opportunities as well. It doesn't feel awesome.
It doesn't at all.
It didn't feel awesome to me when it happens, or to you or to anybody, but it's, the other end of it is pretty sweet.
I agree. Jason, thank you so much for being the 50 Phenom.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.